All right, today we coming to you with an episode of the Wisecrack, and I got a special guest with me. Right, we going up to the frozen tundra, but it's not frozen this time of the year because Memorial Day is almost here, and it's warm weather outside. So, what's good, Ryan? How was the weekend, man? And how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. The weekend, actually, I had one of my better weekends that I've had since I've been doing windshield repair.
Okay.
Um, I did a pop-up tent on Saturday, and then I had a couple more mobile repairs on Sunday to boot. Some of the jobs that I picked up just getting out there in that tent.
Oh, there you go, man. Weekend warrior, man. Like you got to get out there. Sometimes it requires a weekend of working to actually get out there and put work in. So, shout out to you for putting the work in on the weekend. So, with you bringing that up, you did a pop up tent. How did that work out for you?
That worked out pretty good. I did like 6 repairs and 9 chips. And I also picked up a fleet account, one of the bigger local taxi companies in town, so just that in itself was worth it.
Oh, there you go, brother. So, run me through that. You was at a pop up. So, how did that work marketing wise? Did you reach out to someone? Did you know someone, or how did that kind of work on getting the pop up?
Well, I knew somebody that owns actually like a sports bar and grill, but it's
Okay.
not open during the day, and it's got a, big parking lot, and it's like one of the more busiest streets, in Wausau where I live, so
Okay.
it's just a natural location.
Nah, there you go. You always got to network, and I always try to tell people that know your surrounding, know your area, network with people because you never know where you might be needed or where someone might need you. So networking is always good to that, right? To make that work out. And for you, look at it, you landed some jobs in the moment being there, and you got an account from that. So always educate people, tell people about the services you offer, and just network because you never know. You know what I mean? So appreciate you for that information. That was a good weekend. So had a couple questions to ask you, but since you had a good weekend, you kind of answered some questions. But let me jump into a couple questions I had for you, right? So, what made you get started with windshield repair? And what was like the process like getting set up with the business set up with the tax ID number, insurance, and all that little bit?
Well, first of all, I kind of I had a chip repair done,
Mhm.
like, 4 or 5 years ago, and I was thinking, "Well, hell, I can do that," you know? I kinda was throwing it up in the air for 3 or 4 years, and I made a little bit of extra money and some investments that I had, and I was thinking, "Well, what could I do what could I do or buy that would make me more money?"
Right.
And actually, at the time, my girlfriend had a chip in her car, and I
Mhm.
kept telling her the last couple of years, "You better get that fixed, you better get that fixed." A and it was one snowy afternoon, and that windshield chip split
Mhm.
when we were shoveling some snow and the car was running. So I'm
Right.
like, I told you." So she went and got a new windshield, and then about a week later, she went to, uh buy an to buy a new car. We were actually
Mhm.
sitting at the car dealership, and
Right.
I was talking to the car salesman, or he actually was the sales manager,
Mhm.
and I kinda because I've been talking about windshield repair to my buddies and my friends. "Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it, I'm thinking about doing it," and
Mhm.
so I was talking to the sales manager, and I said, I've been thinking about doing this and that," and he asked, "Well, what would you charge?" And I
Mhm.
threw him out a price. He goes, "Well, heck, I can give you 5 to 10 cars a week if you
Mhm.
do it."
Right.
And and the light bulb turned on, and I was off to the races.
There you go. So that's good to get started with. You just never know from having the idea and all of that. So with the business setup, like getting your tax ID number and insurance, was that a long process? Was that a hard process? And I asked that because that's one of the questions that when people get started, they always ask like, how hard is it? Do I need a tax ID number? Do I need insurance? And if I get that, how does that? How hard is it? What is the step? So was that hard for you? Or difficult at all?
Well, the tax ID number was pretty easy. I'm from Wisconsin, so I logged into the Wisconsin Department of Revenue, and it
Mhm.
was pretty much all online, and I signed up 'cause I actually have experience in it. Earlier in my 20s, I was self-employed for almost 6 years, so I kinda knew what I was doing, so it
Right.
made it a lot easier.
Okay. Well, cool. That's what's up. So now you set up, you got the business, the idea, you had the idea now. girlfriend's car fixed, go get a new car. You got word of mouth where you could get an account, you get some equipment, right? So you got your equipment. What's your go-to like windshield repair bridge and resin? Like what's some of your go-to windshield repair items?
Well, right now I use the B300
Mhm,
for my go-to. I still have a couple B150s
mhm,
that when I'm doing multiple chips, I'll
mhm,
set up sometimes 2, maybe even 3
mhm.
bridges all at the same time, and then just slowly work them in the 5-minute cycles.
Right.
And the resin I use right now is all premium bond 20, and then the
Okay.
premium resin.
Gotcha. Yeah, no B300. That was one of the first bridge I ever learned on. I just have it near the heart because that's what I started with. But I use all the bridges. The B150 from the compact size of it, but B250. But I like all the bridges. So yeah, I'm like you. I'm almost like when I do a repair and I pull out something out the toolbox. I always had that split decision. Like, let me use this one or that one, just because I have all of them in the toolbox. But if anybody's watching this, drop a comment below. Let us know what your go-to windshield repair bridge is and what your go-to resin is. And with me and you being in the same region, I'm like you. I use our premium bond resin, injection resin and pit resin, the premium bond 20, premium bond 3000. And those are my go-tos because it works year-round out here, regardless of what the temperature is like. Where it can be really hot in the summer, it can be really cold in the winter. So it's my go-to also. So with that training, right? Recently, me and you did some hands-on training together, and I wanted to know. So one, we did the training. So first question is, you actually got training. What made you want to get training? And then you also went a step further, and you got the training through the Auto Glass Safety Council, which is the NWRD National Windshield Repair Division. So tell me, what made you want to get hands-on training, and what made you want to take it a step further and actually do that, and what made it important to you?
Well, I'm trying to build a quality business. I don't wanna be one of these fly-by-night guys.
Hmm.
I'm actually I'm trying to build something out that'll turn into a real good retirement job for me. Right now, it's a side thing, but business has been picking up. It's kinda almost turning to be more than a side thing, but that's kinda where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I even had just had a meeting with our local chamber of commerce,
Mhm.
so, just trying to get myself out there. Any exposure I can get is better, you
Yeah,
know?
any exposure is good exposure, brother. And shout out to you. I'm seeing the shirt right there. I like the colors. You got the Green Bay yellow. I see the logo on there. So yeah, I like that. Branding is key. And when you're out in front of people, you never know who's looking at you. And they might just write a number down, go check a website out, go check a Facebook page out. So always do those things to brand yourself and reach out like chamber. So you already answered my next question for you, but give me some more tips, right? So marketing, right? You've already word of mouth. You went to the bar, you went to the pub, right, to get more business with the pop up tent. You got a fleet account from that. Talking to people at the dealership. So you've already named some marketing techniques that you've done to actually get business and try to grow the business. But are there any other marketing techniques that have worked for you thus far?
I've been using Facebook a lot. I had a real nice Facebook page set up. I've been doing, even just spending minimal amounts of $2 to $4 a day on advertising has been bringing me quite a few leads
Mhm,
that have turned into jobs, that have turned into
mhm,
cash in my pocket. And also, I just ended up setting up I got windshieldrepairpros.net.
mhm,
It's all a work in process. I'm new to this. I'm
mhm.
about 5 months in, and it's growing fast, a lot faster than I imagined.
There you go, brother. 5 months in, but hey, you got to crawl before you walk, right? So, hey,
Right,
we got to
right.
put the work in. So, Facebook, website, networking, chamber of commerce, and you doing it 5 months in, right? So, with that 5 months in, if you could give any advice to anyone starting out into the windshield repair industry, what would that be?
Practice, practice, practice. Um, Make sure you set expectations to your customer.
Mhm,
Make sure you explain the process. You ask them, "Have they ever had a chip done before?"
mhm,
You explain that you don't wanna go telling them, "Oh, it's gonna be clear as glass." You wanna set realistic expectations. But then when you get that perfect repair, that's when you ask for
mhm.
a a a Google, what do they call it?
A
I'm
Google
going blank.
review,
Yeah,
five
that's
star
when you
review.
yep. And when when you get that perfect repair, it's like victory, you know?
Yeah. Now I feel you. So with that, I always tell people set the right expectation. Tell people what is windshield repair, right? So we explain what windshield repair is. We explain what to expect with this windshield repair, and then we explain the warranty that we can guarantee it for the life of the windshield that it won't crack out. So always set the right expectation. Do a good repair, right? Do a good work, and then don't be afraid to talk that talk. Like, hey, are you pleased with what I just did for you? Did I save you money? Did I save you time? Did I stop your windshield from cracking out? They saying yes to all those things. So hey, why not leave me a review? Tell me how your experience was, but be a friend, tell a friend, tell someone else so you can help me, and then hit me up next time if there is a next time where your windshield may well get damaged and you need me for another rock chip. So always networking. But you said a key thing, and when we were together and we did hands-on training and that practice, it's like one thing I saw you do when you was doing it, I say, hey man, tell yourself what you're doing, why you're doing it. And I think that's the key thing with people who are practicing. Like read the manual, the training guide, watch the video, and then when you start doing a repair, tell yourself what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then it'll make a whole lot more sense to you. And then it kind of becomes second nature.
'Cause when you build confidence and you walk up to that windshield and you've had a lot of practice, you know what you're doing, you don't skip steps, and you walk up to that windshield like you're the boss,
Yeah.
and your repair results will show,
Yeah.
and you'll have
Nah, that's
had
you're right, brother. You the boss. Hey, let's boss up on this glass right here. I'm finna go tell myself what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I had the confidence to do it, because confidence is everything. You gotta feel confident in what you're doing, and you don't know what you're doing if you don't know the whys and the whats and all of that little bit. But to give you a shout out, brother. So I saw you doing the repair when we was doing them, and you was talking, telling yourself, and I'm like, when you're doing the things and you watch or read anything out there, now tailor it to your own personality, right? And so I saw one of your videos, and you was actually educating people on what windshield repair is. And I feel like once you do those things, like the training part, now I know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it when it comes to repair. But when it comes to creating my marketing material, it makes that 10 times easier, because you're saying the same things in your repair process, but you're adding a little marketing part to it to, one, educate customers, and two, sell customers to come to you and give them a call to action. So shout out to you, brother.
and another piece of advice, get a centering tool. When that chip is way out in the center of that windshield and you just can't see through the bridge to line it up right, that centering tool will you'll hit the bullseye every time.
There you go. You said it right, man. You hit the bullseye every time. But I tell people like this: the centering tool don't lie. When I train people, I try to make it the hardest on them, right? I'm like, look down the barrel, get lined up, do it the hardest way you can possibly do it, right? So look at it, line it up, then use our mirror. We got a regular mirror or a 3 times magnification mirror, right? Use either one of them now to look down the mirror and see if you get centered, right? And then the last step is get the centering tool, because I tell people this: that centering tool don't lie. It won't lie to you. It's gonna locate the damage, because if you're working on a Silverado, F-150, or even an Explorer, that rock chip is in the middle of the windshield. You can't see it, but when you put that centering tool down the barrel, and the swivelability of the bridge is, it's gonna locate the damage for you, and it's gonna work wonders.
Yeah, it's a definite exceptional tool. And I also you always gotta make sure that windshield temperature. That
Yeah.
windshield temperature is the utmost important thing. I actually bought a little laser thermometer, so
Mhm.
there's no guesswork.
Yeah. Now there you go. Especially with us, we're in the Midwest, right? Today it's raining outside. It's cool. Cooler since, like, down here today, the high was like 58, right? But over the weekend, it was up in the 80s. You know what I mean? So always check the temperature, get within the recommended temperature range. And for us, if you're doing a repair, we want you to be between 70 and 100 degrees with that glass temperature. But it's multiple ways of checking it. You can put your hand on the glass to touch the glass to see if it's too hot to the touch or too cold to the touch, warm it up or cool it down. A thermometer helps you, but figure it out what works for you. But that glass temperature is extremely important, especially when you're getting around this time of the year where it can be cold in the morning, hot in the afternoon, and then it gets cool in the evening. You're doing repairs. You might be doing an 8 o'clock in the morning repair, a 4 o'clock in the afternoon repair, and then you might even do one in the evening, 7 or 8 at night. So always check that temperature and get within the recommended range.
Yep, most definitely.
All right, cool, brother. Before I get you out of here, you got any more go-to tools that you got, or any last bit of advice you would want to give anyone in the windshield repair industry?
Make sure when you're setting up, make sure you take credit cards. You gotta be able to take credit cards. I I I use Square. I also
Mhm.
have Venmo, I have PayPal, I have Cash App. I don't wanna lose a job because I don't have the proper payment that somebody's willing to give.
Not
So,
That's a
always be
really
able
good point because people really don't carry cash these days, and they like, "Well, I'll pay you." Well, can I Apple Pay you? Can I Cash App you? And he's like, "Well, I only got PayPal or whatever you might have, and you don't have them all." But all those platforms are free to get started. From Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. So get set up with them because you never know when someone has it. And the last thing you want to do is sell someone on a windshield repair, and now we talking money, and they like, "Well, I only got Venmo," and you like, "Well, damn, I don't have Venmo." So set up, because that's good advice. And those are little small things that people probably don't think when it's getting set up, but getting set up to actually take all types of payments, is only going to help you and just help you get the sale. Because the last thing you want to do is lose a sale because you couldn't accept that payment.
I just like to tell everybody, if you haven't bought it already, Delta Kits is the way to go. I made the mistake at first buying a kit from a different distributor, and that's one of my first mistakes and regrets of starting the business. And I went and bought a small, B150 bridge, and I used it for the first time, and th the quality was unparalleled. It's Delta Kits,
That
definitely.
was, well, we appreciate those kind words, brother. And it's like I always say, it ain't where you start, but where you finish. We glad we able to help you and take care of you and help you go along the journey of your windshield repair journey. And 5 months in, crushing it. Fleet account over the weekend did 9 rock chips. So keep crushing it, brother. And shout out to you, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. We'll stay in touch.
All right, no problem, brother. You take care.
Yep, take care.
All right.